Hi, in this video we'll see how to impute missing values in dataset using kNN or k-nearest neighbor and mice or multiple imputation by chained equations. Then we will see their destiny plots to compare which datasets has the most similar distribution compared to the original dataset. So let's get started. First, I'm going to find how many rows and columns I have in this particular data set. So to do that, I'm going to use shape command. As you can see, I have 999 rows and 4 columns. And to see the data type of the columns, I'm going to use the info function. As you can see, my data types are all numeric. Now the next step is to find out the amount of missingness in the dataset using isNull function. So for this, I'm going to create a nullity data frame and use the isNull function against this nullity data frame. As you can see, I have 186 missing values on assessed value column and 287 missing values on sales amount. Now we are going to see how to fill this missing value using kNN and mice imputation techniques. But before we proceed to the next step, I'm going to make a copy of the original data frame. I'm going to call my data frame here df underscore kNN. So here I call deep is equal to true, which is the default one. And this means copy data and its indices. And also I'm saying that any modification to the copy data or indices here will not be reflected in the original object. Okay. The next step is to import kNN from fancy Impute. Now the next step is to initiate kNN. Now the next step is to impute missing values using iloc and feed transform methods. So here I'm selecting all rows and columns using the iloc method. So here my object kNN imputer dot feed underscore transform. And here the feed transform method will transform the data using kNN algorithm. To check if there is any missing value left, I'm going to use the isNull function again against this new dataset. As you can see, there is no any missing value in this new dataset. Now you saw how to perform kNN imputation technique in any numeric dataset. The second method is mice imputation technique. To perform mice imputation technique, first we'll import IterativeImputer from fancy Impute. Then we are going to follow almost similar steps as we did with kNN imputation technique. And we need a new data set for this task. So I'm going to create a new variable and make a copy from the original data set. I'm going to call my variable df underscore mice. The next step is to initiate iterative imputer. So I'm gonna call my variable here mice underscore imputer. The next step is to impute the missing values in this new dataset using fit transform method as we did in the first example with Kennen imputation technique. Now to see if all the missing values are filled with this imputation technique, we are going to fire the same command isNull function again. Now we saw how to perform mice imputation technique in any numeric dataset. The last step is to create density plots for both columns to compare which dataset has the most similar distribution compared to the original dataset. To do that, first I'm going to import matplotlib pyplot. Now I'm going to create one group of 3 density plots against the assessed value column, then another one group of 3 density plots for the sale amount column. I'm going to color this one red. And change this one to df Kennen and this df mice dataset. I'm gonna color this one blue. This one I'm gonna leave it as is, it will take the default color. Now I'm gonna label them so that we can easily identify which line goes to which dataset. To do that, I'm gonna create a label list first. I'm gonna label the x-axis as well. Now I'm gonna create the same density plots for the sale amount column for each dataset as well. I'm just going to make a copy of this and change the name of the column. And I'm gonna change the X label as well. Now you saw how to perform imputations using Canon and mice techniques, and also you saw how to compare both models to find the best fit for your analysis. Thank you for watching.